I'm Aly Fields with Juva, and I will give you healthy choices for a healthy life.
Frederick, Studio Fit 50 Plus.
Theresa Sheppard, care to U Tele-Dentistry Services, convenience without compromise. Jann Spallina, I'm a wellness warrior, teacher and coach with doTERRA Essential Oils. Hello again, I'm Jann Spallina with doTERRA Essential Oils. Welcome to our show, Choose Wellness, where we're all passionate about helping you live your best and your happiest life. So if you saw our first show, you know my background and why I'm involved with doTERRA. If you didn't, just in case, I'm a retired math teacher and I have 30 plus years of experience with essential oils. 7 years ago, I was introduced to doTERRA and the rest is history. I'm very addicted. But then again, there's worse things to be addicted to, right? These oils have really changed my life, the life of my family, and anyone else that I've shared them with. Thousands of others who've had an open mind and been willing to try something new. You know, I did my due diligence before joining this company, and I was pleased with what I discovered. After convention recently, in retrospect, I thought about my feelings towards our leaders and our founders, and they've never wavered in their messages of service, hope, and encouragement. So it really brings me much joy and pride to be working with this company. I'm going to talk about managing pain with essential oils later, but I wanted to talk about why doTERRA is the largest and most trusted essential oil company in the world. We're sincerely dedicated to pursuing what's pure products, pure business practices, and pure love of humanity. I believe that's what sets us apart and allows us to offer these effective, life-changing oils. So related to purity, a recent study found that 82% of all lavender oils were adulterated. Adulteration always occurs because of greed, and for doTERRA, this is criminal. A third party last year tested doTERRA, unrequested by the company, and found that our oils were the most effective amongst all that they tested, including those that come from direct sales companies and from your health food stores. We use third-party testing to confirm our purity and potency, and we offer certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils that are inexpensive and very effective. A consumer can even check the test results for their particular bottle of oil with the number on the bottom of the bottle. Who else provides that kind of transparency? So besides the testing, the other piece of providing pure oils is the sourcing. We use something called co-impact sourcing. It's not only a way to continue a sustainable supply of these high-quality natural oils, but it makes a positive difference in the life of our growers, harvesters, and distillers and their communities. We've provided over 160,000 jobs in some of the poorest countries in the world, and we've impacted over 500,000 people with these jobs. So we're truly impacting the world, one drop, one person, one community at a time. Our unique co-impact sourcing and our meticulous testing ensures both the grower and the consumer are benefiting from these gifts of the earth. Earlier, I mentioned our culture of love, offering service, hope, and empowerment that forms the basis for doTERRA. That's reflected in our Healing Hands Foundation, which is supported by contributions from millions of advocates like myself. doTERRA covers all the administration costs, so every penny goes to where it's needed. We've hundreds of projects, including Operation Underground Railroad, which rescues and rehabilitates children caught in human trafficking, and Mentors International, which offers small business loans, training, and mentoring in some of the poorest countries in the world. We built the first earthquake-proof school in Nepal after their earthquake in 2015. We've built clinics and schools in so many different countries. Our donations in 2018 were $10 million. And 59 countries benefited, including the United States. I could spend my whole time talking about the projects that provide a hand up, not a hand out. So at doTERRA, we empower both sides of the bottle. If you like to do business on any level with an ethical company offering exquisite products that will change your life, please contact me. Let's explore the possibilities. Okay, I promised some insight for pain management, but first, let's take a look at our healthcare situation currently. We spend $3.5 trillion on healthcare, twice as much as any other leading nation. About half of you use prescriptions. According to the Smithsonian.com, for 3 years in a row now, our life expectancy has declined. No wonder 64% of Americans are fed up and discouraged with our healthcare system. Don't get me wrong, doctors are great. They're doing some miracles every day. They put people together, and I'm so grateful for them and their new technologies. But here's the clincher. About 75% of your health concerns are preventable diseases. So I wonder what would happen if we taught people how to prevent those diseases and then had something safe and effective and inexpensive to help support them in their efforts. So things like eating correctly, getting enough rest, exercise, reducing stress, reducing toxins in your life can all make a huge difference in preventing those diseases that we spend so much money on. And essential oils can help you in that process. I would really feel privileged to help you accomplish those health goals with the support of our oils. Please call me or text me at 209-968-3191 or email me at oilwhisper@sbcglobal.net. Okay, finally, pain management. First, let me say that pain is a signal from your body that something's wrong. There's a block of energy somewhere. It really is a good idea to go see your physician and find out what's causing the pain. However, we really want to get to the underlying cause of that pain, and essential oils can actually help your body heal itself. That said, we have a serious problem with opiate abuse in our country right now. There's some people that really need the medication, and they're being forced to reduce their dosage, often leading them to desperate measures. The nice thing about essential oils is that it's actually been proven that they can block some of those pain signals, and they reduce that inflammation, allowing your body to heal itself. So they can be an effective tool for someone trying to reduce or get rid of their opiate usage. So there's many oils that can help with pain, depending on the cause, location, severity, and duration of the pain. Most pain is caused, again, by inflammation. doTERRA has a blend that's really great for inflammation. It's called Deep Blue, and it's available in a pure oil, 5 ml bottle. It's also available in a 10 ml, which is the diluted version, and it's a roll-on for ease of application. And we also have the Deep Blue Rub, which is a lotion. This is one of my favorites. Now, just on a side note, if it's okay to take oils internally, and I would never use anyone else's oil, any other oil, internally, because I don't think it would be safe. I don't believe it would be safe. But if it's okay to take a doTERRA oil internally, it'll say right on the side of the bottle, supplemental facts. Well, Deep Blue is not intended for internal use. However, the company created a polyphenol and called it Deep Blue. And this is a great way to help reduce inflammation that's spread kind of throughout your body. So the three together are really great. We use the Deep Blue capsules and the rub regularly. And it just depends on how much we've pushed our bodies, what we've done, whether we use them every day or not. But I usually have several tubes of this floating around the house at any given time. And they're great products for athletes. It comes in a huge jug, so athletic trainers will use it in their training room to help reduce inflammation. In fact, Tim Hightower, who was on the 49ers briefly, used it with his massages to reduce his inflammation. So it's no secret that frankincense is a well-known inflammation fighter, as well as helichrysum, black pepper, marjoram, peppermint, wintergreen, ginger, many more. Many essential oils contain something called beta-caryophyllene, and we source our oil with the highest level of beta-caryophyllene from 4 different species of trees in Brazil. We wanted to get just the perfect chemistry to get the best results, and that oil is called copaiba oil. We have the soft gels for ease of ingestion as well, or you can take this under your tongue if you want to. It can help to soothe anxious feelings. It promotes a smooth, clear complexion. The thing about copaiba, because it's a resin, it affects every system in your body, so it'll improve the health of your cardiovascular, immune, digestive, and respiratory systems. And although it doesn't contain psychoactive cannabinoids, the main component, beta-caryophyllene, can be neuroprotective. It's a well-loved oil because it relieves discomfort and it can promote overall health, supporting people to feel and live their best lives. I personally use the oil in combination with the Deep Blue Rub because it really gives that extra little boost and helps that pain disappear pretty quickly for me. Have you ever mind rushed in the evening? You know, there's times when my mind just doesn't get the message that my body is tired. It needs to go to sleep. And I like to use the Copaiba soft gels for that. It really slows that mind rushing down and allows me to get a really nice deep sleep, which allows my body to heal itself, again, taking care of some of that inflammation. You can put the Copaiba in your diffuser as well and use it aromatically. I prefer to use it topically and internally, but you can also use it aromatically. So the last product that I want to focus on today for pain and inflammation is turmeric. It's been used worldwide for thousands of years. There's over 100 studies and 6,000 scientific publications on turmeric. This oil supports healthy inflammatory response and sustains cardiovascular health. It supports and preserves brain function, and it's neuroprotective. Now you can use turmeric topically, internally, or aromatically if you like the scent of it. So in September, doTERRA introduced turmeric dual chamber capsules that deliver the best of turmeric with the highest level of curcuminoids. The key to turmeric is the bioavailability, and our dual capsules offer enhanced bioavailability. So it gives you the highest level of curcuminoids, and it's the best delivery of turmeric. You get enhanced bioavailability because of the way these are designed. So just a brief little testimonial on my part. I recently went to convention. My back was very painful. There was lots of walking and steps and heavy backpacks and arms full of stuff and heavy luggage. You get the idea, right? I was using Deep Blue and the Copaiba on my back morning and evening. But because I was doing the same thing every day, I still had that discomfort during the day. The day after I got my turmeric, I took 2 in the morning, and I never even thought about the Deep Blue or the Copaiba the rest of the trip. The turmeric did the trick for me, and I was totally relieved, and all the pain was gone. So I'm a huge believer in the turmeric. But you're welcome to try. We can experiment and play and see what works best for you. So as the weather cools, I find myself sometimes taking one of these capsules. Sometimes I don't feel like I need one at all. I anticipate as the weather gets a little bit wetter and cooler, I'll probably be taking more, but I feel comfortable knowing that I have those to help. So as in closing, I'd like to invite you to reach out and explore the options you have for adding these seemingly magical tools to your healthcare toolbox. Call or text me at 209-968-3191 or email me at oilwhisperer@sbcglobal.net. And please join me on Choose Wellness next month when I'll talk about our partnerships with universities and hospitals and our clinical trials just briefly. And then I'm going to focus on stress, anxiety, and sleep right in time for the holidays.
At Tiny Tanks Jumpers, we strive to provide you with quality customer service. Serving Modesto, Ripon, Ceres, Turlock, Manteca, Lathrop, Weston Ranch, Stockton, Lodi, and Tracy. For more information, please call Nicole at 209-858-8866 or look us up on Yelp.
So welcome back. I'm here with Michelle Strange, who's a very well-known tachyon crystal healer here in Modesto, and we're going to have you explain a little bit about how she works. So Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
The first thing I wanted to ask you, and Michelle and I work together a lot because both of our products are products of the earth and they have a great vibration. But I'm going to let Michelle explain how do crystals help our physical body?
Well, they work by raising the vibration, the frequency mainly, of our body. So all our organs are on a specific frequency. So it's a frequency healing, basically. And when you use a crystal to raise your vibration, pairing it with an essential oil holds the vibration throughout the day.
Awesome, thank you. So you have a specific title, Tachyon Crystal Healer. Can you explain for our viewers what's tachyon?
Well, tachyon is a faster than light energy. Tachyon is the scientific word, I believe, for divine light. We are bradyons, so we are slower than light energy. Then there is luxons, which are the 7 colors or photonic light energy. And from number 8 and above is tachyon. So what it does is it infuses the physical body with divine light, which is very healing.
Awesome, thank you. So, Michelle, can you tell our viewers, how do you use doTERRA to help with healing? How do you incorporate that with your crystals?
Well, I use doTERRA to assist me in, first of all, the deep blue with target pain relief. So I will have a client tell me about their pain, and then I'll use the oil with the crystal. So I'll do some direct contact with the crystal. These crystals are tachyonized, meaning they're attuned through an electronic computer process for 24 hours to receive tachyon, similar to radio waves. It's a receiver of tachyon, so it will just focus divine light to your pain. And with the copaiba, it's like removing the onion layers of the pain. I discovered what I really believe is inflammation is the key factor to all pain, whether it's depression or anxiety. It's an inflammation. And when we have this inflammation, the turmeric goes internal. So whether you're doing it topically, internally, it's going to relieve that inflammation. Inflammation pinches the nerves, which is most of our pain. So then if we have the frankincense, which works really well with the nerves, then we're going to have some more intense healing. So it takes the tachyon energy and really goes deep. And that's what all these products allow the energy to do in the healing setting that I use at my studio. And I do want the highest quality products to use on my clients. I do things where they're putting them on their very most tender parts and they're taking it internally. I want something that's medical grade, that's going to support my business in every aspect. That's why I use doTERRA.
Awesome. Do you have any other last minute comments that you'd like to make for our viewers?
Well, I really appreciate doTERRA in general because of the sourcing, that the product is so pristine that it comes from its indigenous area, so it's optimal healing. And so because it is medical grade and I want to preserve my business, it's really, really important. Not only do I want to preserve my business, I want to preserve my health. I want to get healthier, and I'm doing it through doTERRA and tachyonized crystals, which I do my own tachyonization. You can come and visit me at Tachyon Crystal Healer. I work inside of the bird's nest, and I have my own studio. That's where I do my yoni steaming. I have a website, Tachyon Crystal Healing, where you can purchase products like your own massage wand that's tachyonized, pair it with some doTERRA oils, and you'll really be on your way to healing.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today, Michelle.
Thank you so much for having me, Jen.
Every journey begins with a single step. Are you ready to take yours? Here at Modesto Junior College, we can help you begin. The college offers a variety of programs and opportunities, including financial aid, MJC students can transfer to four-year colleges after graduating. Our instructors will prepare you for a successful future in the field of your choice. If you want a quality, affordable education with unlimited horizons, make Modesto Junior College your first step.
Hello, my name's Theresa Sheppard. I'm a registered dental assistant, author, oral educator, and founding partner for Care to U Tele-Dentistry Services. I've spent most of my 35-plus year career in dentistry in the Modesto area, first as a chairside assistant and then into administration and later on into academics. My love of dentistry and passion for teaching merged when I became founder of Career Express Dental Assisting School, as well as a continuing education and radiation safety course provider. We know that the oral systemic link is real, and lack of oral care is a main contributor not only to minor infections such as sinus or ear, but serious life-changing diseases such as cardiac disease, stroke, Alzheimer's, cancers, and many more. Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the relationship between Alzheimer's disease and periodontal disease. Periodontal disease is an oral infection and chronic inflammatory condition whereby the gum tissue and bone is destructed by periopathogens. In early stages, we know it to be gingivitis. We're most common with that term, and most of us are familiar with what that involves. However, we notice that we have a little bit of gingivitis sometimes when we see blood when we're brushing our teeth. Blood is never normal and is an indication that you have a slight infection going on. When we have gingivitis, at that point, the condition still can be easily reversed. It usually is just caused by an inflammation of the gum tissue. When we develop periodontitis and periodontal disease, in a person with periodontal disease and periodontitis, the toxins that are released from the periopathogens destroy the gum tissue and the surrounding bone. And it can actually form pockets in those areas. These small pockets can collect debris and periopathogens and can cause further destruction. The body's immune system tends to fight those diseases as long as we're relatively healthy. In people with compromised immune systems, the periopathogens are able to take hold and be more aggressive. The toxins and poisons that are produced in the plaque will destroy the gum tissue and the surrounding bone, and it will eventually cause an infection and loss of teeth. The toxins that are produced by these periopathogens directly destroy the gum tissue and the bone and create an environment that is prolific to disease. As the disease process advances, teeth can become mobile or you can get an infection. Otherwise, it typically is a silent progressive disease. Dementia is a term generally used to describe memory loss or a decline in cognitive function that affects daily life. Alzheimer's disease accounts for 60 to 80% of all dementia cases. Alzheimer's is a progressive disease that usually worsens over many years. Most people that have been newly diagnosed with Alzheimer's are 65 or older. We know that there are over 700 different pathogens in our mouth, but there are 4 that are particularly deadly and create and contribute to many serious diseases. The worst among them is P. gingivalis. In 2006, a Swiss researcher discovered that there were periopathogens found in blood, spinal tissue, and brain tissue of several different Alzheimer's patients. Among the bacteria that were most aggressive were P. gingivalis. The result of this study was that in Alzheimer's patients, you are 6 times more likely to have cognitive decline if you have periopathogens, especially P. gingivalis. Gingipans is a toxic enzyme that is secreted by P. gingivalis that destroys the brain tissue and the neurons. P. gingivalis was found in 96% of Alzheimer's patients that were studied. The 96% of the brain tissues that were studied are compared to 39% of patients in the absence of periodontal disease. P. gingivalis can travel from the mouth to the brain, and that the related gingipans can destroy brain neurons and brain tissue. This discovery is important because it does suggest a biomechanical mechanism for transmission, and bacteria can play a huge role in the amount of gingipans that are released into the system. There are many possible mechanics for releasing enzymes into your system, such as brushing, flossing, chewing, and just daily activities. It can also be contributed to an inflammatory process. Periodontitis is very common but largely preventable, and it's usually the result of poor oral hygiene. As oral care providers, it is our moral and ethical responsibility to treat the whole health of a patient. Some things that we can do are brushing and flossing at least twice a day. Using products that have xylitol in them helps reduce the bacterial load. Use an electric toothbrush. Electric toothbrushes are more effective than a manual toothbrush, especially if a patient has dexterity concerns. Replace your toothbrush head at least every 3 months, and even more often if you've been ill. Get regular professional oral care and periodontal services. And if you have dentures, make sure that you not only clean the biofilm and plaque off your dentures, but also use a soft cloth or a foam brush to clean your gum tissue as well. As the size and number of baby boomers increase and the U.S. population ages, there are projections that in 2050 we will have more than triple the amount of patients with Alzheimer's as we did in 2010. Currently, Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in this country, and we can help to lower those numbers. As an oral physician, your dentist should be having detailed conversations with you about your health history and how the periopathogens play a role in disease processes. So it stands to reason that if we can control our periopathogens and get our oral health better, our whole health will be better. We must be advocates for ourselves, our loved ones, and our patients. We must do what we can to slow cognitive delays and create an environment where we can have healthier patients. There is a general disconnect between the healthcare fields, between dentistry and medicine, and I've witnessed it time and time again. It is our mission at Care2U to bridge that gap. It all starts with education. If we as healthcare providers and caregivers are going to educate others, we need to make sure that we understand the oral systemic link and must educate ourselves first. Some patients will see a dentist more frequently than they will see a physician. So as dentists, we are on the front line of diagnosing and screening for many serious diseases, such as diabetes, cardiac disease, and strokes. We all know about the oral systemic link and that it is important than ever. We know that the oral systemic link is real, and it is more important than ever to provide care to the patient when the patient cannot care for themselves. We depend on technology to make our lives easier. We can shop online, buy groceries online, bank online, and order pretty much anything our hearts desire to have delivered on our doorstep the next day. So why would we not want to have a virtual dental evaluation? It is no longer necessary to take a day off work, pull the kids out of school, or rearrange your schedule because we bring the care to you. Care2U provides diagnostic, preventive, and periodontal services to schools, churches, businesses, veteran services, senior centers, assisted living facilities, hospitals, etc. We are very proud to say we are a preferred provider for disabled veterans as well. My partners, Nicole Flaherty, our registered dental hygienist, and Michael Ratto, DDS, and I designed Care2U to eliminate the barriers that we see that preclude most people from getting treatment. If you would like further information on the topic of Alzheimer's and its relationship to periodontal disease, or if you would like more information on our educational or service-oriented programs, please feel free to reach out. You can email me, Theresa@care2uts.com, or give me a call, 209-222-0750. We'd love to help.
Hey Papa, aren't you supposed to get your taxes done today?
Oh, I ain't got time. I want to watch the game.
Haven't you heard of the Sanders Income Tax Service mobile app that everybody's been talking about? You can get your taxes done now and finish watching your game later.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, by filing right, you get more here at Sanders Income Tax. Look forward to seeing you this year.
I'm Aly Fields with Juva. Juva is a health, wealth, and wellness company. And our tagline for people who are looking to find out what we're about is that we transform lives. And we do that with unique and demonstrable products. So what I'm here to tell you about tonight is another way to get well without going to the harsh medicines that cause side effects. Today we're talking about silver, and not just any kind of silver, but it is the new generation of structured silver, and that means to you that it works 3 times faster. So if you have, after you have heard me tonight, you'll be able to say that I use silver, but you want to see yours work faster, you might want to check this out. So tonight we're going to talk about silver and how silver can help you get well without having medications that cause side effects. So what we're going to do is go through a brief history of silver and how it was used all the way back to the medieval days with bubonic plague, the Black Plague, and why they found out, or how they found out with the Black Plague that silver does have healing properties. And I'm going to explain to you why silver has healing properties. So let's get ready, and I'll start with the history of silver, just a real brief one. It's also often called the penicillin of alternative medicine. If you've heard of silver, you've heard of colloidal silvers, silver sol, and silver nitrates. And what it does is it disables the enzymes in viruses, bacteria, yeast, and mold to replicate. And so it disables them. Also fungi. So what you, for example, if you have athlete's feet, that's a fungus. And your toes, you can have a fungus in your toes. So any place that is warm and moist, yeast and bacteria can grow in. So tonight we'll go into some of the reasons why. With any antibiotic drug, it kills several different bacteria, but it's limited. And the thing is, if you use it and overuse it, it stops working and you become resistant. And what happens is that silver can change all of that. It can deliver the kiss of death to these bugs because microorganisms can't live without oxygen. And so our silver will kill the oxygen and the bug will just die. And there's a little bit more to it, but I'll go into that later. Several thousand years, as far as ancient Greece, and as I mentioned earlier, the medieval days with the bubonic plague, they found that they used silver, and at that time it was the really wealthy people. And the people that could afford to have actual silver were not getting sick with a lot of the plagues that were going around. Have you ever heard of the term, she was born with a silver spoon in her mouth? Well, there's actually something to that. And during the plague, the kids and the people that were eating off of silver utensils were not getting sick, and they weren't getting the plague, and they weren't dying. And what they found out is it was the silver that was killing this bug. And what's really cool about silver is it also kills viruses, which antibiotics won't kill. So it's inexpensive, and it also takes away the resistance to antibiotics. So let me tell you some of the people that have used it over the years. The Greeks used silver vessels to keep their water and their other liquids fresh. The writings of Herodotus, the Greek philosopher and historian, date before silver even became before Christ. The Roman Empire stored wine, silver in silver urns to prevent spoilage. The use of silver is mentioned in Egyptian writings. In the Middle Ages, silverware protected the wealthy from the full brunt of the Black Plague. Before the advent of more modern germicides and antibiotics, it was known that disease-causing pathogens could not survive when they came in contact with silver. And so one of the things that happened is as the wagon trains went across, coming out to the west and opening up America, they would put silver dollars in the big barrels that carried their water and their milk buckets in. And so the silver would keep the water from growing bacteria and algae and yeast. And so then they found out with the silver, they started putting it in the milk too, and it didn't spoil as quickly. So a little side note, one of the things that I learned while researching on the silver is the people would milk their cows, put their milk in the jugs and hang it underneath the wagons, and as the cows pulled the wagons along, it would bounce, 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 and by the time they stopped that night, they had butter. And so they had their butter done for them, and the women didn't have to churn. Kind of a little side tip there. The Chinese emperors had silver in their courts, and they only ate with silver chopsticks, which I thought was kind of funny. Settlers in Australian outback suspend silverware in their water tanks to retard spoilage. And then, as I said, the pioneers of the past would also use silver. So silver dollars became quite popular, not just for the silver and not for the purchasing, but to keep their food safe as well. And wine. It'll keep wine from spoiling as quickly too. Then they started using silver leaf to combat infections. And so they would take the silver leaf and put it inside a wound, a gunshot wound, a burn, or whatever. And in World War II, silver became the metal of choice when they were field dressing in the hospital in the wars, and it became very, very popular. What caused it to lose favor? Antibiotics were discovered, and they were cheaper. And so the doctors started using antibiotics more frequently. Problem with antibiotics, however, is that you can build up a resistance to them, and you can also become have a bug that antibiotics don't kill, because they don't kill every single bacteria. And the last I had read, there were 2,300 kinds of bugs that were killed by antibiotics. And so after they started using antibiotics more frequently, they started having the superbugs, and the bugs became impervious to antibiotics, and so they would have to develop a stronger antibiotic. And that was one of the problems, and we were getting stronger superbugs. Staph infections were becoming stronger, flesh-eating bugs became stronger, and so they started using silver again. And in burn units, you will see silver used always, because it heals burns much faster than anything that we know of right now. And they will just take a sheet of silver foil and lay it right on the wound. And bed sores is another source is another healing source for silver. Because of the superbugs, silver became more popular, and people found out that if they put silver in their water, that they could drink it as a prophylactic. It would stop the bugs from getting as worse. If you start sneezing, you know you're catching a cold, then you take 2 teaspoons of silver and twice a day, and you can see that cold many, many times stop in its tracks. And I have witnessed that myself. I am a recipient of that wonderful feeling of, oh, I didn't catch that cold. We have what's called structured silver, and that's different than the silver sols. I don't know if you've seen or have you ever heard of somebody taking a car battery, putting silver in their water, and then charging the silver plate? Well, that's what a lot of people are doing today to have silver at home. And the problem with that is it doesn't bond with the water, so the silver particles come out and they float on the bottom. As you can see, ours has no floating because it's bonded 100% with the water. And that's the advantage. I'll go into more advantages of ours as well. What does true silver do? True silver protects against viruses, yeast, and mold, just as like the other silvers did. It destroys the cause of sick cells, just like the other silvers did. It improves wound healing, and it promotes healthy cell growth, just like the other silvers do. It fends off infection. It disinfects surfaces. So why would I have you look at true silver with Juva? What makes this better? Number one is the way that it is magnetized and the water is pure. They take the water and they create steam right off of regular acidic water, and it becomes alkaline. And so the water is 99.9% pure. The silver rods are high-grade silver, and they're not only charged electronically, they're also charged magnetically. But because the silver is alkaline, it goes to work in 2 minutes, as early as 2 minutes, instead of the 6 to 8 that regular silver salts go to work. And so what that means to you is that you will see an improvement in eye infections, ear infections, wounds, mosquito bites, all of these things that you can use silver on. Within 2 minutes, you're going to start seeing a difference. And so that's why Juva silver is better. The other reason, because it's alkaline and because of the pure water, it actually works with antioxidants. Another thing it does is it will stop antibiotic resistance. It actually makes your antibiotics work 1,000 times better than an antibiotic by itself. And what it does is, what happens with an antibiotic is between the cells, it gets sticky. And so you're not firing and they're not getting the messages. Silver goes in and cleans that up. And so you're getting your firing between the cells and it's working. And so your antibiotics are going to work faster and more efficiently. True silver is an advanced second generation of colloidal silver. It's called structured silver. Over 80% of the health concerns affecting many people today start with either a combination of yeast and bacteria, yeast and viruses, and unless you take care of the things that are causing that, if you don't have something that will stop it in its track, sometimes these bugs will get us, and what they do is they go for the weakest cell. And they go in there and they start accumulating, and it's almost like a free radical. And what it wants to do is steal an electron. And so it steals an electron from a healthy cell, which makes that an unhealthy cell. And so then that bug can go over and attack another cell, and it just continues to deteriorate until you've got a full-blown cold, a full-blown infection. If you stop it in its tracks with silver, within 24 hours of a cold, sometimes, and I've experienced it myself, you will not even catch that cold. And I have a couple of testimonies that I can share with you about that. It attacks the bad bacteria, but it doesn't affect your good bacteria. We all need good bacteria in our guts And so we can't go without that because that helps our digestions. And one thing about antibiotics is it attacks the good bacteria as well. It kills anything that gets in its way if it's one of the strains that it works on. So your good bacteria is gone. And that's why so many people get yeast infections after a round of antibiotics. Silver, true silver, doesn't do that. It does not attack the good bacteria in your gut, which is so beneficial to your body. The silver that we give to our clients and our patients is able to go into the gut and actually promote health as well. And why it does that is because the good bacteria that's in your gut has a little fatty layer around it to protect it. Antibiotics kill that fatty layer. The silver will not kill that, and so they're left intact. Structured silver also destroys harmful pathogens faster, as I was saying, within 2 minutes instead of the 6 to 8. And I'm going to tell you a little story about a boy I had in my Sunday school class. His name was Aiden. And Aiden came to church Sunday morning on Easter, and he just was clinging to me, Miss Aly, my ear hurts, my ear hurts. And as the morning went by, his mom was over in the service, and I was alone, couldn't send somebody after her. So by the time she came and picked him up, he was full-blown tears. His ear was hurting so bad, and he was clinging to my leg. I, of course, could not treat him without his mom's permission, so I took my little silver eyedropper bottle and told her that the silver in here, to put it in his ear and hold his head over for 2 minutes. She did that. The next Sunday she came back, she told me that she held his head down, and he laid in her lap. The silver went to work. He fell asleep because he was in so much pain. And within 45 minutes when he woke up, he was out hunting Easter eggs with the rest of the kids. And that's because we caught it so quickly. The other thing that I have a personal testimony is a friend of mine was the beginnings of a sty. And so it was spreading to pink eye. She had the sty. She was just miserable. And the medicine that the doctor gave her for that was excruciating. She was just, and it wasn't helping her. I was still red, and the sty was still there. So I said, try this. Just give it a try. So we took it. We took the eyedropper out. We placed it in her eye. She saw almost an immediate reaction to the pain. And then the next morning, we had her do it a couple of times before she went to bed, and then she slept with it. The next morning, the pink eye was gone, and the sty was smaller. So these little bottles are amazing. And they're just applicator bottles that you can use the silver in different places. One of the things that I do when I go on a flight is one of the dirtiest things in a plane is not the bathroom, but it's the table that you pull down to put your drink or your magazine or whatever on. So I just spray it down with silver, and I have a clean surface, and it doesn't have any of the superbugs on it because I use silver on it. I also take it and put it on the headrest behind me because I don't know who was sitting there before I came in. So that works really well. My husband had a mosquito bite. We took it, we sprayed it, and here's a little booger that I had. I took it, I sprayed it on that, and as you can see, this was pretty big size, and as you can see, it's already much, much smaller. Another thing we have, somebody that's having a sinus infection or sinusitis, you can take the silver and immediately just spray 2-3 squirts into your nose. Do the same thing on the other side, 2-3 squirts, and you will notice that you're killing more bacteria or even viruses. Now I'm going to tell you now how that works. Imagine I have a little balloon right here. and it's full of the DNA from the virus or the bacteria or the yeast. What happens is the silver has a mechanism, because it has extra electrons, that it takes that, because the bacteria is looking for an electron, and it's very weak. The whole surface of the bacteria is weak, very thin. So it takes that electron and everything that's inside the bug. So if I've got this little balloon and we pop it and pretend the pin is the silver, everything just comes out. Then flush it out with the good alkaline water and your bugs are gone. They don't have time to replicate. And so that's one of the really great mechanisms of silver. What's also really, really good about Juva is we have also made a silver gel. And this is amazing. If you put the gel in your hands, rub your hands down. I put it under my nose so that if I go into a place and I breathe in any kind of pathogen, it's not going to get past there. My hands are now clean and germ-free in the next 2 minutes. It takes 2 minutes to work for 5 hours. Anybody I shake hands with, I'm not going to give them any bugs. Anybody that shakes hands with me that has something, they're not going to give me their bugs either. So my silver is something I carry in my purse. As you can see, this one's almost empty because I've used it up. And I give it to people I'm sitting at the table with. I use it on my hands. I'm never going to have a super bug like I will with the hand sanitizer, because that only kills a certain percentage of the bugs, and the bugs just get stronger. This kills the actual reproduction of the bugs, so they can't get stronger. Another thing that our silver does is it's tasteless. You can take and I can drink this whole bottle because it's alkaline. No flavor. And I could drink that whole bottle without it causing any kind of a problem. In the past, they used to say that the side effect of drinking silver was the blue man syndrome. What they found out was it's the silver that was made in the garages with the batteries, and the silver would fall out. And so when they would drink it, they would be getting the silver particles, and that would build up. But because ours is alkaline, I could drink all 4 of these bottles of silver, and I would only fill my bladder and be very, very healthy. Now, that's another thing I want to talk to you about, women's hygiene. And what happens is that we have all these little crevices, like in our eyes and our mouths. As we get older, we get more wrinkles. Well, yeast can get into there because they're warm and they're moist. And what happens is they grow and they make the lines deeper. Well, if you put the silver on your face before you put your moisturizer in there, you are cleaning your face better than the cleansers that are out there. And so the yeast doesn't have a chance to grow. Another thing I do with my silver is every time I brush my teeth, I put a little blob of the silver on my toothbrush, and my mouth is now germ-free as well. And what that means is that no more bad breath, because bacteria is what causes bad breath. And you have a less chance of having heart disease. And I know one of our other ladies is a hygienist, and she talks about oral care and not having a lot of bacteria in your mouth because it can cause heart disease. This is something that you should use in addition with her products. So, and then I think that it's a little touchy, and if any men are uncomfortable, you can turn the volume down right now. But a lot of the women, after having an antibiotic, will get a yeast infection down in their private areas. You can take the silver gel and applicate it with either a tampon or just rubbing it on the area, and it will kill that yeast infection. And that is so much better than some of the other solutions that pharmacology has given us. And so you can make sure that the silver kills the yeast before you get a full-blown, very uncomfortable infection. And if you have teenage boys and you go into their room and it's all stinky and you look at their tennis shoes, if you just take the silver spray it in the tennis shoes, just spray it in their tennis shoes, the bacteria will be killed and it will also kill the odor. So you can clean their duffel bags up in a quick 2 minutes. Athlete's feet, if you can put either the gel or the liquid on the athlete's feet and it will clear it up. Fungus on your toenails, where it turns your nails yellow, it will kill the fungus that's on your toes. Just soak your toe in some of the liquid silver, and you will see an improvement shortly. It takes, the fungus is harder, so you have to do it more treatments, but you'll see that happen. With the holiday season coming up, we want to be as healthy as possible, but this is the time of year we like to give gifts as well. Wouldn't it be nice to give somebody the gift of health? And silver is one of the ways you can do that. You can give them a product that resonates on a frequency that kills bacteria, viruses, and yeast. And therefore, people are going to have a healthier holiday season. So I hope you found another way that you can choose wellness. And my name is Aly Fields. I'm with Juva. My phone number is 209-612-4606. If you'd like to know more about silver, I would love to share it with you.
Hi, I'm Darren Kent, your host for Fright Time Theater, every Saturday night at 10 o'clock. So email me at darrenkentmytv26@gmail.com. I want to hear what movies you want to see. So I'll see you for Monster Movie Madness every Saturday night at 10 o'clock on my TV 26.
The reason why I opened Studio Fit 50 Plus is to bring together those people that have some fear of going to the bigger gyms, or maybe they have fear of going to big group exercising. As you can see here, we have limited six members to each class, and that's the max that we accept. So it's a small group personal training session. It's closer to personal training than large group training. What you get is specific instructions on how to perform, to increase your performance and see progress. A lot of women here have lost weight, they've improved their balance, and they've also improved their cognitive skills, thinking quicker, being able to react when they're driving. So they have experienced big changes, again, mentally and physically, and the experience of working with a personal trainer. So anybody that's instructing my classes, they are a certified personal trainer, and they are experienced in the body mechanics and how to get the best out of your exercising. Whatever your weaknesses are, you'll definitely see the progress. This is Crystal, Studio Fit 50 Plus. She is a personal trainer here, and she instructs the small group personal training sessions. Again, they're not classes, they're actual sessions where she identifies weaknesses and helps our members here become their very strongest. So tell me what's happening now.
Okay, so now they're in the middle of an active recovery, which we do after 2 rounds of these exercises. After they're done with the active recovery for about 3 minutes, then we're going to go ahead right back into each exercise, which is 1 minute and 30 seconds long, and we're going to do one final lap around.
And each station is 1 minute and 30 seconds. And they also are encouraged in each station, sometimes there's reps involved, so they are encouraged to know and understand how to work their reps in their workout. If it's a band row or maybe it's a bicep curl, they must understand how to continue to become stronger and not do the same thing over and over again. Another great thing about our stations is that they're never set up the same. So it's not an actual circuit training where you go around in a little circle and you're doing the 1, 2, 3. You are actually having to hunt and find station 1, station 2, station 3. The great thing about that, what I have found, is that the women, they start collaborating and like directing each other's paths. Like, no, you're at number 2, not number 1. And it's a real good
It builds
team
up
effort.
camaraderie within the group itself. So
Yes.
that's awesome.
So it's always that same person that knows where everybody's at, and it's kind of fun. And they do work in a team effort, and then at the same time experience more of a personal training rather than a group training. So SmartFit is also included in our stations here at Studio Fit 50 Plus. And what this does is it helps cognitive mindset and increases the blood flow through the brain. So you're not only getting a physical workout, but you're getting a mental workout as well. So as you can see here, she's balancing on top of the half dome, and she's also having to think of which hands to switch while playing SmartFit, left, right, and both. So she's switching hands with the tube while balancing, and she's already gone through 5 stations. So mind you, they're a little fatigued, and then again, being challenged with the brain activity. This is very important as we gracefully age, because we definitely need both mental and physical workouts. And what happens is, a lot of times this is missed in our regular daily activity because we're so used to doing the same thing over and over again. Brushing your teeth with the right hand, maybe driving the same way home. Maybe you go to the gym and you're doing the same workout over and over again. With Studio Fit 50 Plus, each time you come in, you're going to get a different workout, a different challenge, and you will also get SmartFit. Sheila here is standing on a half roller, and you can see her ankles moving, working really good for her in regards to keeping her balance. As she keeps her balance, just like she's on a wakeboard.
Oh, just hit it.
Yep, green, or no, tracking, good. Left hand only. So she's using her less dominant hand, her left hand, and she's tracking as she's balancing. So she has 2 things going on here, the thinking power and the physical power. At Studio Fit 50 Plus, what you get through the stations is modification. So let's say Dina here is a beginner. So Dina, when you first came to Studio Fit 50 Plus, where did you begin? Say on a station like this, right there. So she's able to hold on to the pole, and she'd go a little bit slower, and she was able to hold on to the pole because her balance isn't what it is today when she first came the first couple of weeks. Dina was challenged with balance, however, she's a long-time swimmer. Isn't that amazing? So through the classes and weeks and months of training, she is now so well at her balance, being challenged every time she comes to class in a different way. So modifications are very important, and us trainers here at Studio Fit 50 Plus know how to modify them for the beginner and even the advanced. My background as a certified personal trainer, I worked in the hospital in pulmonary rehab for 15 years. So I truly have many testimonies to share of how fitness can really heal the body. It can also be a good motivator to want to live a healthier life. Instead of having your illness identify who you are, you overcome it by the strengths and willingness to perform better in your everyday life as far as being healthy and being fit and just changing a mindset of who you really want to be. and it is possible. No matter what stage of life you're in, it is possible. And at Studio Fit 50 Plus, I have all levels. I have the more advanced. I have women in here that are longtime runners and longtime swimmers, and then I have the women that it's their first time ever coming to exercise.
Hi, I'm Nancy, and I've been coming here for about several months. And I absolutely love this because they will adjust the station exercises to my ability and pushes me to do as much as I can do. And I have more energy and my balance is getting better, and I absolutely love it.
So I've been working out with Kelly on and off since 2009. In 2009 she did help me lose about 40 pounds in weight. I've been going backwards and forwards, going to the gym myself, and it hasn't quite worked out, so I've gained some weight back, so I came back to Kelly. When I first came back, I was working out and got a slight pain in my chest. She stopped me working out. She took my blood pressure. It was, I think it was like 190 over 103, so she stopped me working out and sent me straight to my doctor. I did end up eventually in the ER, but it was just my medication that needed changing, but thankfully she helped me with that. And she also helps with food, and I just think she's a great inspiration.
Kathy Sandner. I started working out here with Kelly when she opened the place. I've known Kelly for a long time and swam with her. And I had also worked with her one-on-one, my husband and I, in our home for personal training. So I know it makes a big difference to add this type of a workout to your workout routine rather than just relying on running or swimming or other cardio activities. I participated for about 8 months and then I took a break, and what I've noticed after taking a break and coming back is it really makes a big difference. And I noticed that also when I started. It makes a huge difference in your strength and your balance, and it's very much worth the time that you put into it, and it's a nice addition to any other type of activities that you're doing.
So we all work together as a team and we encourage each other, and because of it being small group, there's more of a camaraderie effect, and they have built relationships, and that is it.